Old money was yesterday's news. New money is today's rave. I'm gonna show you guys exactly why the old formula for building wealth is outdated. And it is all about the new next gen way to build yourself wealth. And with that comes a brand new formula. And I like to call this the code plus media plus equity empire. I heard about this literally on a podcast this week, and it changed my life and it changed my philosophy when it comes to building wealth. And I think this is drastically going to change the way how you think about money and opportunities. What's up, guys? This is your boy Kenny Finance. Welcome to the channel where we make nothing but smart money moves. And in today's video, we are unpacking the next generation formula for building wealth. That is right. We're going to unpack why code, media, and equity leverage is going to take you from a 100,000aire to a millionaire. A millionaire to a billionaire in 3 simple ways. And as I outlined for what we're going to talk about today, we're going to first talk about the traditional ways of building wealth and why I think they are a bit outdated. 2, we're going to unpack the dimensions of the code, media, and equity formula. And number 3, for my lucky subscribers, and if you guys aren't one, make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. I'm going to unpack and reveal my wealth generation plan for my code, my media, and my equity. All right, guys, let's dive in. Traditionally, how the heck did folks get rich over time? I think there's a handful of ways. Number 1, they started businesses. That's pretty sound. That still exists today. 2, they worked a really good, powerful job. Or 3, they bought real estate. And most of the folks, 90% plus, bought real estate. And people always say, oh, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to own real estate, all this la-di-da-di-da-di. But I like to argue that working a job and just hoping on a pay increase or starting a traditional business or buying real estate are still factual ways to build yourself significant wealth, but it is not the most applicable way given the resources and the innovations and the technology that exist in our hands today. These things are a little bit outdated. Are they wrong? No, they still work. These things are still going to print money. Real estate still generates cash flow. Businesses, if successful, can still make millionaires and billionaires. And working your job is a really good, sound, safe way for you to generate income and build wealth. But we are sitting in the midst of such a technological revolution that is going to drastically transform how folks generate ideas, commercialize them, take them to market, build businesses, launch products, build media, all kinds of things. And if you are watching this video, you are sitting in a super lucky position because you are going to be one of the very few and very early folks capitalizing on these opportunities. So why not do what the billionaires of 100 years ago did? Not everyone was buying real estate, so they pounced on it early. Not everyone was starting businesses, so they pounced on it early. So why not focus on what that next trend is for the next 50, 100 years and pounce on those early? So that's the purpose of this. We're going to try to unpack what are those dimensions that are going to transform the world of wealth creation, and how the heck can you get on those opportunities as early as possible? Because I'll tell you right now, the next generation of millionaires and billionaires haven't been printed yet because not everyone has jumped onto these opportunities within code, media, and equity. And if you're wondering where I got this from, this is not a proprietary Kenny Finance formula. I got this from this podcast I was listening to from this guy called Naval, and he has this philosophy on the new age of wealth creation. And his main takeaway is that the new age of wealth creation is going to be generated by the folks that have infinite leverage. And I'm not talking about leverage like buying a house or using leverage to buy stock or crypto, whatever that is. I am simply focusing on how do you leverage your time? How do you leverage your likeness? How do you leverage your skills to build you infinite income and infinite wealth while giving yourself minimal time invested? That, my friends, is leverage. And his philosophy is that if you have involvement in code, media, and equity, those are attributes that can allow for you to maximize your earnings and wealth generating potential while minimizing the time involved. That sounds like a pretty good trade-off for me. All right, so let's dive into each of these. Code, creating wealth with technology. And before I jump into this, you do not need to be a PhD Stanford computer scientist. You do not need to know how to do Python, Java, all this other stuff. We live in an age now where you can generate code literally on your phone with AI in 10 seconds, all right? But the headline thesis is that you can build significant wealth if you have an element of code and you are building something with technology. This could be something like launching a software company that makes processes or everyday life for people more efficient. Simple example for software. If you are someone that is doing a delivery job, back in the day, you used to have maps and used to have a schedule and you used to have to go drop off your deliveries, boom, 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 right? Now we live in an age where someone came up with a software solution for optimizing logistics, meaning they had the idea to take the process of going from point A to point B, C, D, and E and make it incredibly efficient by optimizing what route someone should take, what drop-off they should do first, etc. And that was all made with software. So whoever made that is literally a genius. Other ideas is you can make a ton of apps. And if you think I'm not talented enough to make an app, think again. I guarantee you, if you look on YouTube and search up how to build an app using AI, there are hundreds of videos and resources available for you to understand how you could take an idea, which is the most important part, coming up with an idea, and then finding some way to use AI or a freelancer on Upwork or Fiverr to build yourself an app. It may cost a little bit of money, but the process of going from idea to MVP and a tangible demo in your hands has become incredibly efficient. So give it a shot. Think about ways that you have an idea that can change the world or change processes or improve efficiencies for everyday people, and then launch a software company or build yourself an app and monetize those things. That, my friends, is giving yourself infinite leverage through code. Next pillar of this wealth formula is media. Leverage attention and content to make millions. The best way to describe this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I am sitting here in my YouTube content studio where I am filming myself talking about finance, passive income, investing, private equity, Wall Street content, and giving it to the masses. And my expectation is that hopefully you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel, but then also I actually provide tangible value to you all to where you want to come again and watch more and more of my videos. And then down the road, hopefully when I'm a big YouTuber, like YouTube pays me for this, but I'm not really in it for that. But ideally, I can leverage the attention of you clicking on my videos and the content of me talking about real finance stuff, and as well as the credibility of me being an actual private equity professional Wall Street investor, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. That is sort of a overall recipe of a successful finance YouTuber. And that is how I can leverage media to come up with different avenues, whether it's more YouTube videos or coming up with my own finance product like a budgeting app. And then hopefully I have a large enough audience to where someone is likely to pay for something that I'm offering or selling. And there are a bunch of examples like this. There are YouTubers that are coming out with courses. There are folks that are coming out with apps. There are folks that are coming out with brands like Logan and Jake Paul coming out with incredible consumer products. But the thing is, if you have a phone and you have a camera and you have a pretty enticing personality and a good smile, you can hop on a screen and you can create content which can build an audience that you can eventually monetize down the road. And what's incredible is platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and all these other content creation platforms, what's cool is you're kind of building digital real estate, meaning the assets that I put out today will still be there 10, 20 years from now. And if I monetize, these things can be generating me income from AdSense every single click and every single view down the road. So I'm creating infinite leverage, meaning I'm creating a video today that is hopefully going to be on YouTube for a very long period of time. And during that period of time, it's going to start being monetized more and more. But all I really did was create that video once today. So that, my friends, is infinite leverage using media. And then once I want to kick it up a notch, I can launch a bunch of different finance products, finance merch, all kinds of things, a Patreon membership, all different stuff. But the key is, find a way that you can grab someone's attention, generate very good, valuable content, and stay consistent. And that, my friends, is the cheat code for wealth for media. And then lastly, equity. Own a piece of the pie. Ownership in businesses and ideas has always been a great form of building wealth, but it is so much more important today now than ever. Owning a piece of equity or a piece of a business has always been an essential way to build wealth. Equity in a home, equity in a business. And these are one of the things to where it kind of says it's a new age pillar of wealth, but it is a time-tested, fundamental legacy way to build wealth, and that's equity. But the way how you can build equity is so different than way back in the day. Folks used to literally think that they just needed to start a company, build a startup, and have it IPO to be successful. There are so many different ways that you can build equity. You can leverage your media, for example, to build a media business. And now you have a media business and you're generating revenue, etc., and you're raising capital. Well, guess what? You are the face. You are the owner of that media business. So that kind of counts as equity as well. Or you can start doing some other cool things to build equity, like acquiring a business. You no longer need to sit and start up an idea and then hopefully go through the ups and downs of a business to think that you're going to be successful through a startup. A lot of those fail. You can literally go on bizbuysell.com, find a business, and acquire it in a handful of months. And therefore, you own a business, you have equity, and you're generating cash flow on day one. Or you can go to real estate route and start acquiring a bunch of real estate properties. If it's your primary home, you can get yourself a duplex where you live in one, rent out the other. Or if you just want to have a passive income real estate portfolio, start buying up different houses on the block and start leasing it out to tenants that pay you monthly cash flow every single month. But the key is, you still own the equity in those properties. So there are a bunch of different ways that you can build equity, but what I want you to think about is how can you take the dollars that you have from your day job plus your dollars from your passive income streams to start putting it into areas where you can build equity. And if you want to have a very, very, very passive approach to building equity, invest in the stock market. Take every single dollar that you have that's available and put it in index funds, because that is still a form of equity. You're investing in an index fund, which has a bunch of different stocks, and a stock is a piece of ownership of a company. So whatever you can do, make sure that you take, whether it's $1 or $100,000 or $1 million, and put it into something that builds you equity. All right, so that has it. Code, build something with technology. Media, grab someone's attention. Equity, own a piece of the pie. Now, let's wrap this up, and I want to show you guys exactly how I am doing code, media, and equity. Now for code, I am the last person that knows how to build anything on Java, Python, or all that other stuff. Look, I am a finance guy. I know how to do math. That is it. I am not good when it comes to computer science and coding and all that stuff, but I am really good at coming up with ideas. And for me, my 5 to 10 year bet on my code thesis is going to be 1, building myself finance apps and platforms that can make the process of managing your money incredibly more efficient. And I am working with developers on Upwork that I found and testing out some of these cool AI apps to build apps to figure out ways that I can build a very seamless, very easy budgeting app for you guys. It's not ready yet. It's going to be ready probably in a handful of months, but I'm testing it out and trying to build code. Also, I have a really cool vintage app that I probably talked about on some of my other videos called Finder. And that is my code baby. This is a vintage fashion marketplace similar to eBay, similar to Depop, to where if you have really awesome clothes that are secondhand or thrifted that you want to sell and start generating revenue and generating profits, list it on Finder. It is very simple for you to just take a picture of your products, list 1 or 2 things about it, set a price, and then flip it on Finder. And then it markets to all the different vintage buyers across the entire world and gets you money by things that were sitting in your closet. I think that's a genius business idea. And I think the key driver of growth in that business is going to be marketing. So I'm doing a lot of influencer partnerships, throwing events, etc., but building a vintage community on Finder. So that's my code. And for media, you already know what I do. This is Kenny Finance, the home of smart money moves. And I'm a private equity investor turned YouTuber where I'm trying to take all the skills and the resources that I learned on Wall Street and give it to Main Street to help you guys make smarter decisions with your money. And my platform primarily is YouTube, but I think down the road, I'm going to launch Patreons, Discords, all kind of stuff. But also we're on social media outlets like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and I am literally anything that comes into my head about money or investing or budgeting, I just put it out onto the internet and let that stuff just go wherever it needs to go to help someone in need. So make sure you guys follow us on all of our social accounts, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz, because there's a lot of good content coming out literally every single day to help you guys make smarter money moves. And then lastly, equity. This is my favorite. Finder's like my cool, fun, weekend job. My day-to-day job, this is awesome. So for equity, 1, I invest a crap ton of money into the stock market. I think majority of my wealth is sitting in index funds and stocks that I like to invest in. That is one of the pillars of my equity. Now, the second is my baby that I like to call Dreamline. Dreamline is a holding company that I launched, and our focus is to acquire lower middle market or smaller businesses that we think are going to generate significant cash flow every single year. I'm essentially buying the type of companies that I used to buy at my private equity job and doing it personally and owning these things with some investors, and we are going to take this thing to the moon. And my vision for Dreamline is to make this thing literally the next Berkshire Hathaway, but it all starts with one acquisition, using the cash flow, acquire more businesses, use that cash flow, acquire more businesses. Once I have a bunch of cash flow, invest in stocks, etc. But Dreamline is my holding company vision to have a flywheel effect of ridiculous wealth creation. I'm kind of betting the house on these ideas, so wish me luck for that, or just like the video. But there you have it. That is my code, media, and equity. Now, I love these things because I am literally putting in deposits of time, content, and effort and energy every single day to make sure that all 3 of these things are growing. Now, look, they're not successful yet, but they will be. And mark my words, I think in 10 years, I'm gonna look back at this video and I'm gonna say, wow, I believed in myself. I deposited time and energy into code, media, and equity, and 10 years later, I am benefiting from the successes of that. So I think this stuff is going to be incredibly successful, but what is required for me is everyday inputs. What I like to do with some of my friends when they're thinking about dreaming and building things is to think about life into 3 different dimensions. There's inputs, there's the process, and then there's outputs. The output is already ordained. set the vision, set the goal of becoming successful in whatever it is you're building. And if you truly believe it, it'll come true. The process is very simple. Find out what you need to do every single day and do it, and let time and consistency work. The process literally equals time plus consistency. And then the last thing is the inputs. That is the only thing that is within our control, and you need to hyper focus on giving as much as you can and providing those inputs every single day. And then you let the process work itself out. The outputs is already going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And then boom, you have your new wealth from code, media, and equity. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys smash that like button. It means the world to me as well as the community. And this was a really fun video to make because it is giving you a glimpse of my everyday life and everything that I'm building. And I appreciate you guys for believing in me to go chase my dreams. But what's crazy is I wouldn't be able to do all of this if I didn't have incredible friends as well as a wealthy and abundant mindset. And if you guys want to find out how to take your mindset to the next level and start thinking more abundantly, I got this next video where I'll talk about how to build a rich and wealthy money mindset. All right, guys, so that's it. I appreciate you. Best of luck building your code, your media, and your equity. And leave me a comment of what you're building, and I will root for you every step of the way. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.